Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to learn how to apply paired sample t-test and confidence interval for paired data or uh, paired observation. Here I type in an example from a book uh, whose author is Professor Sher Chaudary and Shahid Kamal, and the title of the book is Introduction to Statistical Theory Part 2. This question is taken from this book, and the page number is also given. The page number is 260 and example number is 18.8. So let's discuss the example first. In this example, 10 observations were made. 10 young recruits were put through a tedious physical training program by army, and their weights were recorded before the training and after receiving the training, and the results are shown in the table. Here there are 10 number of recruits, you can see that, and their weights before training is recorded and given in this column before, and the weights of the recruits after receiving the training is given in the next column. So if you take a look, you can see that the first recruit gain weight after the training. Second recruit also gained training weight after training. Third recruit lost weight, and fourth recruit gained weight. Fifth recruit gained weight. Sixth recruit lost weight, and seventh recruit also gained weight, and eighth recruit gained weight a lot, about 15 or 14 pounds. Ninth recruit lost weight, and 10th recruit gained weight. So having a look on the data, it is observed that the most of the recruits gain weight after the training, but in this case we have to apply a statistical technique which will tell us on the basis of these data that the training of the recruits has effect or no effect on the average weight of the recruits. So he asked us to use margin of error or level of significance 5%. Would you say that the program affects the average weight of the recruits, and assume that the distribution of weights is approximately normal? Okay, so this is the example. So I typed the data in SPSS under two variables. One is variable x, which is after before, and variable y is after. Both variables are on the scale measurement. So now the data is ready for analysis. So we will go to analyze and compare means, and there is paired sample t-test. So we click on this option, and there is a window or pop-up menu or simple menu. In this you can see that here in this box there are the variables in our spreadsheet. In the background you see, and there are two variables, variable x and variable y, which are listed in this box, and we have to transfer the variables of interest from this box to there. So the variable 1 we put here, and variable 2 we put here by dragging them, and we can click options to specify the level of significance or confidence coefficient. Here we will put 95% confidence interval percentage, and automatically the level of significance will be 1 minus alpha, and it will be 0.05. so we take continue, and we take click OK, and there is another window opened with the results. You can see that this is paired sample statistics t-test. There are three tables, and one is summary measure, second is for correlation, and the third is for paired sample test. So we if we see here the mean of the first sample, which is before the training weights, the mean is 167, and after the training the mean is 176, which is 4 points high. 10 observation, standard deviation is 26, and here 32. Standard error of mean is given. Correlation is 0.96. This information is not of our interest, so we ignore, or we can also delete by just pressing delete. Now this table is very important. The difference between before and after is minus 4.7, and the standard deviation is this, and standard error is this, and the confidence interval is minus 9.77 to 0.37, and the value of t test is minus 0.209 with degree of freedom 9, and level of significance is 0. Not level of significance, it is the p value, total p value, it is 0.06, which is greater than 0.05. Now the test suggests that there is no difference between two means of the population, or you can say that the program do not affect the average weights of the recruits. By looking at the data, there is a mean of 4.7, but standard deviation 7.08. By looking at these two measures, we can say that, and this test statistics and the p value, this p value you can change this. Sorry, not this p value. Okay, this p value is 0.06, which is greater than 0.05. so we accept our null hypothesis, which is that there is no difference between the some weights before and weights after, and by looking this we see that there is no difference. Okay, now this is the procedure for paired sample t-test. So there is a request, if you like the video, then like the video and subscribe the channel, so that the coming videos you will get the coming videos on time. Thank you very much.